Hello lovely viewers, welcome to my channel. I am Anna, hope your day is so well. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Juliana entered the Bachelor mansion with poise and mystery. From the moment she stepped out of the limo, there was a quiet confidence in the way she walked, in the way she looked at Grant. She wasn't loud. She wasn't desperate. She didn't need to be. Grant noticed it right away. That girl is different, he whispered to one of the producers just minutes after meeting her. Litia, on the other hand, was fire. A whirlwind of charm, wit, and unpredictable emotion. Her connection with Grant started strong, full of laughter, inside jokes, and that unmistakable spark. But what no one knew was just how deep her feelings would run, or how complicated everything would get once Juliana started opening up. By week 3, it was clear there was a triangle forming. Not the typical kind either. While Grant was the focal point, Juliana and Litia were also watching each other. There was a mix of admiration and tension. In some scenes, they'd bond over Grant's quirks. In others, they'd sit in awkward silence, eyes scanning one another with unspoken rivalry. Grant, meanwhile, was oblivious, or at least he tried to be. "I'm here to find one woman," he said in a confessional. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't confused. Juliana is mysterious. Litia is magnetic. I connect with both in very different ways. And that's scary. The group dates didn't help. On one beach volleyball outing, Grant spent most of his time talking with Litia. She dominated the game, teased him playfully, and even managed to get a kiss when no one was watching. But the footage didn't lie, and the other women were livid. Juliana didn't say much. She rarely did. Instead, she channeled her energy into the next one-on-one date, where she finally let her guard down. Over a candlelit dinner under the stars, Juliana shared something personal. Her younger sister had passed away in a car accident 2 years prior. It was the first time Grant saw tears in her eyes. It changed everything for him. She's strong, but it's not just strength. It's a layers, he told the camera afterward. That night with Juliana, I saw her heart. I felt it. But with every moment of vulnerability Juliana offered, Litia brought passion. Their overnight dates were even more intense. Grant and Juliana spent the night in a secluded villa surrounded by a forest. They didn't just talk about the past. They talked about the future. Kids. Careers. Where they'd live. It felt real. But Litia's overnight date in Bali was pure emotion. They danced under a thunderstorm, laughed until they cried. She even told him she loved him, the first to say those words. And Grant kissed her back like he meant it. "I can see a future with her," he said that night. "She lights me up." The audience was split. Team Juliana versus Team Litia. Online debates. Twitter wars. Even fan pages popped up dedicated to each woman's journey. Then came the finale. A rose ceremony on the cliffs of Maui. Juliana arrived first. In a long green dress, she looked like a dream. Grant smiled when he saw her, but it wasn't the same smile. "I care about you so much," he said, his voice cracking. "But my heart, it's somewhere else." Juliana didn't cry. She thanked him, hugged him, walked away with grace. Then came Litia, and for a moment, it felt like the happy ending. Grant told her she was the one. He proposed, and she said yes. They kissed. Fireworks exploded. Music played. But 3 months later, the headlines hit. Grant and Litia split. Bachelor couple calls it quits. Fans were shocked, but insiders weren't. Sources claimed Grant had been texting Juliana again, that Litia had been growing distant, that the proposal had been too fast, too public, too much. Juliana, however, stayed silent until she didn't. In an exclusive interview with a podcast, she revealed the truth. "Yes, he reached out," she said, "but I didn't respond right away. I needed time. I still need time." Grant, when asked about it, didn't deny anything. "I loved Litia. I still care about her. But maybe I rushed things. Maybe I wasn't over Juliana." What followed was a swirl of drama. Litia unfollowed both of them on social media. Grant was seen at a winery with Juliana twice. And rumors began swirling. Are they back together? The truth was more complicated. Juliana, in a rare post, wrote, "Healing isn't linear, and love doesn't always come wrapped in bows. Sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's uncertain, but it's always worth it when it's honest." Litia, meanwhile, launched a blog about self-love, heartbreak, and resilience. Her posts went viral. She was offered a book deal. People started seeing her not just as a Bachelor contestant, but a powerful voice in modern dating culture. And Grant, he disappeared for a while. No posts, no appearances. Until one day, a photo surfaced of him and Juliana in Italy, holding hands, smiling. Grant Ellis and Juliana Pasquaros's breakup, announced on June 13, 2025, shocked fans of The Bachelor, but several signs hinted at their unraveling engagement. It was hard not to notice that Grant hadn't posted about Juliana on Instagram for several long weeks prior, an unusual silence for a newly engaged couple. Their plans for a grand destination wedding in Italy and moving to Boston together seemed ambitious. But Juliana's insistence on a second proposal, revealed on the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast, hinted at unresolved doubts about their commitment. These and other clues suggested their bond wasn't on solid ground. Further signs of trouble emerged from their differing emotional connections during the show. Grant's strong feelings for runner-up Litia Gar, whom he told he loved, created tension, with fans speculating he was torn. Juliana's reserved demeanor and the lack of immediate emotional depth in their connection, as noted in reports, may have foreshadowed compatibility issues. It was hard not to notice that the Bachelor Season 29 couple weren't as into each other as some past Bachelor Nation duos, which led to skepticism about their longevity. Despite their mutual respect, the breakup revealed underlying cracks that were evident to observant viewers. Grant seemed decisive during the Bachelor Season 29 premiere. He quickly identified the winner of his first impression rose and seemed to know exactly what he was looking for. It wasn't long before it all started to unravel. Grant changed his mind wildly from one day to the next. As the season progressed, he often sent home his favorites, while keeping women he barely seemed to notice. He said he was looking for a wife, but his behavior said otherwise. The season opened with Grant giving his first impression rose and a solo date to Alex Good, 28. The two really seemed to connect on a deeper level, but then he turned around and forgot about her for the rest of the season. 31-year-old contestant Dina Lepanku seemed to be his favorite, until her hometown date didn't go perfectly. Unlike his other relationships, his relationship with Juliana was more of a slow burn. They didn't seem to connect until much later in the season, and it was unexpected. Things got even worse during the Bachelor Season 29 finale. Grant's runner-up, 31-year-old Litia Gar, told host Jesse Palmer that Grant led her to believe he was going to pick her. She even alleges Grant told her he wanted to end the season early because he was so sure she was his person. Grant responded to her allegations in an exclusive with Us Weekly. "But I let her speak her truth and her piece," Grant said. Things seemed to be going well when Grant announced he'd be moving to Boston to be with Juliana. Before joining the cast of The Bachelorette Season 21 and The Bachelor Season 29, Grant lived in Houston, Texas. But he realized her relationship with her close-knit family would make it difficult for her to leave New England. Though he decided to keep his Houston home, him moving seemed to be a great sign. After that, the two were rarely spotted together, even though Grant made multiple public appearances. Though Grant has been posting to social media regularly, his last Instagram post about Juliana was at the end of April. Nonetheless, the photos he shared didn't seem recent. It's in stark contrast to two recent Bachelor Nation. Grant and Juliana dealt with drama since the moment they got engaged on The Bachelor Season 29, but they held out hope until the very end. The couple recently appeared on the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast, where Juliana revealed that they won't be getting married unless Grant proposes again. She clarified that she doesn't need another ring, just another proposal. It seemed like a bad sign that they were already talking about a second proposal, with the first one still so fresh. Grant and Juliana aren't the Bachelor franchise's only recent failed couple. Jerry Turner and Teresa Nist got married at the end of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1, but divorced after only 3 months. Jen Tran and Devin Strader split up before the Bachelorette Season 21 finale aired, making for an uncomfortable reunion. The Golden Bachelorette Season 1 ended with an engagement between Joan Bassos and Chalk Chapel, but they appear to have no interest in getting married anytime soon. We're wrapping up here for today, but the excitement of trending gossip doesn't stop here. We'll be back with new surprises very soon. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe.